Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video we have 3 computers. So, hi guys. The first one is quite old and we're gonna check it out first to see what's inside. The second one is a bit newer and the last one is quite new. So let's not wait anything and let's get to work. This is the first PC. We can see it's lightly yellowed and has a nice button. Should have a floppy drive here and a DVD-ROM. So let's see what does it have in the back. It says powered by Asus and it has a Windows XP license. Here we have a power supply, motherboard that has 4 USB ports and everything else is standard. There's a cable outside. We have an add-on GPU and a modem card. So let's open it. What I see from this PC is that the sides don't open just like regular cases have, but we have to remove the top in order to, I guess, lift the side panel. So let's see. So this is our motherboard, our computer. Let's start with a power supply, MS 400 watts ATX power supply. The motherboard is golden. It's Asus P4V8X-X. I think we already had a board like this on the channel already, but I can't be sure. Then we have an Asus GPU. It's A9550 128 megabytes. And there's a fan with a cooler, 2 sticks of RAM. There's a hard drive, as we said, a floppy drive and a DVD-ROM drive. Please notice the difference of this cable and this. I'm not sure if this one was yellow from the start or it just got yellow, but they're very different. Anyway, let's try and turn it on now. I got everything plugged in, my keyboard is ready. Let's switch the power supply. Okay, and let's try to turn it on. Okay, press the button twice, did not want... Ooh! I'm not sure if you heard that, but seems like a capacitor blew up. I don't see which one was it. It was definitely a sound of something popping. I see this one is a bit bulged, but I don't see anything. Could it be something on the power supply? And I don't smell anything, so let me take out the motherboard and I'm gonna test her with my power supply. If we hear some more bangs, then it's the motherboard, but I don't see anything wrong here. So strange. Okay, so I checked the motherboard from this side. I don't see anything wrong with it. Let me check it from this side also. I can just see that this one is bulged. Could it be that it bulged right now? Nothing was plugged in this port, so that's a bit strange, but let's try to run it with my power supply. So I connected the power supply and right away we can see the light is LED is working. Let's now try and turn it on. Good luck. Okay, it's still working. Okay, let's turn it off and connect the GPU that came with the motherboard. So this is the GPU that I was telling you about. A9550 128 megabytes. Hynix memory. We'll clean her a bit later. She is quite dusty. The AGP port was also very dusty. Okay, let's plug in the GPU. So the GPU is here now. Let's try to run it now and let's see if we get anything on the screen. And no, there's nothing on the screen. Okay, let's turn it off now and let's put in our debug card to see what does it say. So debug card is on. I'm gonna just turn the motherboard like this so you can see in the reflection what's written on the debug card. Okay, this looks okay. It's booting up. Oh, right now it's working. Can you believe it? You just had to turn her around. Okay, let's take our keyboard. Overclocking failed. Did somebody not just now, but did somebody try to overclock this PC? Okay, let's run setup. Let's see what's inside. It's Pentium 4 2.8 gigahertz. I had one of those once. And it's 1 GB of RAM. So it's 2 sticks, Transcend 512 megabytes each. Okay. Let's see our temperature. It's okay. So we have a Western Digital 40 GBs Caviar. Let's try to turn it on. It's plugged in now. It's booting up nicely. There's something on the screen. And will it enter Windows or not? Let's see. The sticker said Windows XP. And it is Windows XP. I can see the debug card is happy. It's saying, yeah! Okay, this is a nice working PC. So here it is, everything as we already saw. Windows XP Professional, Pentium 4 2.8 gigahertz with 1 GB of RAM, and everything seems to be working fine. So I'm gonna test out that power supply later on to see if the bang was from that power supply or it was the bulge capacitor that we saw here. So I'm gonna clean the board now, and then we're gonna take another look of it. So please wait. I just wanted to show you the amount of dust that was on this cooler. Very ugly. Probably it was never cleaned. And you can see the thermal paste is like, it's hard, dry, and it's... So here is our CPU, Pentium 4 at 2.8 gigahertz. I cleaned the motherboard and she really does look okay. As you can see, it's Transcend 2 times 512 megabytes of RAM. The motherboard has an AGP port and 5 PCI slots. It has IDE and 2 SATA ports over here. So it is looking nice. I like the golden Asus motherboards. And this is our capacitor that looks a bit bulged. So other than that, everything else looks okay. So I did a test in mini Windows XP also, and it worked fine. So that's it for this motherboard. See you on to the next PC. So we are back with the next PC. It comes with a very nice neon case, white. It's quite looking nice. We can see the sticker here. It says AMD Saffron. Let's see from the back. In the back we have a power supply. We have a motherboard with, not so often we found big grills here. Standard ports. It's missing parallel serial. It has 4 USB ports and integrated GPU, and has no other and never had any other cards inside. So let's open it and see what's inside. Wow, looks really clean, except the fan, which was never cleaned, but there is no dust on the board. It's really looking great. We have a hard drive and the CD-ROM. Nice cable management. It's an AMD board. As we said, it was Saffron on the box. The markings are MCP6PB-M2 Plus. I have a feeling like we had one board like this on the channel already. It's quite a small board. You can see only one PCI slot. 2 DDR sticks. Both are different. One is low profile, the other one is normal. Let me get you closer. So it has IDE and SATA. SATA are already connected to the hard drive and the CD-ROM. And as I said, one smaller one and one bigger one, DDR, and the dusty fan. All the capacitors look good, and I think we can try and turn it on. By the way, this neon power supply looks very small and weak, but I mean, it's a weak PC, so it should be enough. It's 400 watts, so it should be enough. So let's try and turn it on. Starts right away as soon as I plug the power supply. There is some noise from the power supply. Yeah, and I don't like it, so I'll turn it off so nothing happens bad. Let me just unplug the hard drive to make sure that the hard drive or the CD-ROM are not making that noises. Yeah, it's not that. And I touched the fan of the cooler of the CPU. It's not the problem with the CPU. So I'm gonna take the board out and test her with my good known power supply. Please wait. So as you see, we started the board, but there's nothing on the screen. So I'll turn it off now and plug in our debug card to see what does the card say. Okay, so the debug card is showing C100. As far as I know, it could be memory related, so we will turn it off and try to remove one stick of RAM and see what happens then. Okay, let's start with this one. It's Take MS. It's not some kind of brand. 2 GB DDR2 800. So let's try it now. Okay, it's now, oh, it got past the boot screen. So, I mean, we got it to boot. Okay, it's alive and working. So it could mean two things. This RAM stick was faulty, or maybe there is some dust in the port of the RAM. So we will test that out a bit later and see what happens. Let's try to enter Windows now. Yeah, I'm gonna reboot it before that, so I can plug in my keyboard. But let's enter BIOS now, so we can see what we're dealing with. It's a Biostar motherboard. Okay, so we got 1 GB of memory. It's a Hitachi hard drive of 160 gigs. We couldn't see the CPU in this BIOS, but never mind. So you can see it's EPROM LE1250 at 2.2 GHz with 1 GB of RAM. It's a 32-bit system. The Windows is activated. That's it for this PC Windows wise. We will now clean the board and take a closer look of the board. Please wait. So guys, I didn't want to give up on this DDR stick, so I took the alcohol and cleaned the pins, and when I put it back in the board it worked. So this board now has 3 GBs of RAM, which is much better than 1 that we had before. So I just wanted to say that a lot of these things are fixable, and that's probably the reason why somebody threw away this PC, didn't want it anymore, because it did not want to boot up because of a dirty contact of the RAM stick. Very common and I would say stupid problem that happens with the boards and everything. So I'm glad I fixed it. So let's go on with the cleaning, and then we'll take a look of the motherboard from up close. So guys, I cleaned the motherboard. It was quite clean, I must say. The fan was dirty, but it's now clean and looking nice. So about the motherboard, as we said, it has a EPROM CPU, and this is it. It's really, I must say, poor when looking at the ports, but this is what it has. So we have one PCI port over here, we have IDE and SATA connectors, and we have a PCI Express slot over here. That would actually be everything about the board. It's actually in great state. I mean, this whole PC looks like it was not used much, because the Windows did not have any data and everything, so it was probably rarely used. So that's maybe the reason why the dust messed up with the RAM stick that did not want to boot with Windows. So this is it for this board. We'll just jump on and see if there's anything interesting about it on the retro web. So this is the motherboard that we have. It's an AM2 socket. It can handle up to 4 GBs of RAM. We have 3 GBs on our motherboard. What I notice here is it says it has parallel and serial, but mine doesn't. And when looking here at the ports on the image, it does not have, so they should fix that. I'll contact them. And that's about it from this motherboard. We're now jumping onto the next PC. Please wait. Okay, so the last PC has a Zalman case. This case looks very nice. It has something glued here. I'm guessing it might be broken, so it keeps opening. Let's see. I'm guessing it had a magnet here or something, but it's missing now. But it could work like this. Anyway, the case has power button and all the USBs and plugins up on the top. On the side, I do have the sides, but I removed them because they were falling off, did not have any screws. somebody took down the CPU and the power supply was jumping around the case, so I removed it so it does not damage the motherboard. The power supply is 650 watts from FSP Group. They do make quality power supplies. I had few of them, and they are quite a good brand. It's 80 plus silver power supply, so it looks intact and good, not much dust, so I like it. The power supply, of course, has PCI Express ports. Yeah. And since the CPU was removed, the fan and cooler were jumping around the mainboard too, so I took it out also not to damage the board. It's a big case and it's a tiny board. So as you can see, somebody ripped out the RAM, and let me get you down. The RAM is out and it's a bit dusty. Okay, so it's 4th gen Intel Xeon and Core motherboard, DDR3, and that's about it. So maximum capacity of 16 gigabytes. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing special, but 4th gen, so that's okay. i3 4130, and we're gonna see if it will work in this motherboard. So let's see. Okay. I don't think we will be able to do anything with it. Let me put in the fan so we know if we turned it on or not. Is this CPU fan? Yes, it is. Should be working. Oh. Okay, I'm turning it off. CPU is not getting warm. This fan, oh my god, it's broken. Yeah, it's totally stuck. Totally stuck, and it's broken. You see here? So it's no good. I took another fan so we can see if it is starting, of course. The CPU is cold, so we can say this motherboard is not going to be used anymore. The screen is black, so there's nothing from it. That's a shame, but hey, you win some, you lose. So this is it for today. We had two working mainboards and this one, which is the newest anyway, but it's not working because of the bent pins on the CPU. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, or give me any suggestions about what you want me to do while testing the motherboards. Thanks again, and goodbye.